Okay, all ready to go? Let's get started! I'll start the game.
Happy New Year, Chad. Happy New Year, Near Snape. Happy New Year, Smirk. Hello. No notifications from YouTube. Well, a surprise to everyone, I'm sure. This was the Jelking. I was going to put Jelking in the title, Musicology. You read my mind. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Let's make sure all my noises are in check here. Oh my God! Coming through loud and clear. That's my desktop audio. Gonna need this. We're playing a PC game. Very obscure. I don't know how many people have ever streamed Ginormo Sword, but about a month ago, I had a stream about Vampire Survivors, and I played the shit out of that game. I think I'm coming close to 100%ing it. I got like 1,000 out of 1,000. They've added some more achievements since there's been like some updates, but I got all the main ones. So I think I 100%ed the base game, but all the other content I'm still working on. Who do we got in here? We got Smirk. We got Near Snape. We got Musicology. Hello. Chat, fill in, say hello. Welcome to the new year, new stream. Kind of an impromptu stream. Let's talk about my stream snacks today. As you can hear, I've got some caramel popcorn. And then I've got a sparkling mango bubbly water. Ready for this brand new stream. 6 people in here. We got to spread the word. This will not do. I am a VTuber. I got the best avatar to represent my inner spirit. We gotta get this. We gotta get this out. Near, you didn't get a YouTube notification. How the hell did you find the stream? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, where's everyone coming from? What is the best way for me to get the word out about new videos and streams? Because I don't know in this day and age. The times are passing me by. So let me give it another couple minutes before we get started on some Ginormo Sword. How was your New Year's? How was your Christmas, everyone? Mine went pretty well, all things considered. A lot more subdued than last year. Last year, 2019, 2020, Christmases, 2020, 2021, all kind of a blur. They didn't really feel as jovial, festive, and a lot of that was due to everyone being paranoid with the pandemic and just not a lot of events going on. But last night I had some good times. I actually played through Mischief Makers for the Nintendo 64. I wanted to beat it before midnight, but the thing is about Mischief Makers, I did not anticipate there were a lot of cutscenes I couldn't skip, and then I kept going for these gold crystals, which are the game's like hidden object. So, like the golden crystals allow you to watch about like 10 more seconds of the credits. So every time you find a crystal, it's like 10 more seconds of the credits. So I got about over half of the crystals before I said fuck it and tried to rush through the game. So I didn't beat it before midnight. I beat it around like 12:10 in the morning last night. And but I did. Mischief Makers was the first game I beat of New Year. Refresh the YouTube homepage this year. That's how you found me? Well, we got to get more people in here. We can spread the word. Spread the word. We got 11 people in here. Slowly people are filing in. Let's wait for a little bit more before I get the game going. So, anyways, Christmas was pretty good. I spent a lot of last week playing through Yakuza Like a Dragon's post-game content. I wanted to get all the achievements in Yakuza Like a Dragon in an anticipation of this year. It's gonna be the year of Yakuza. They really should have saved it for the year of the dragon, but I don't think they can wait that long. Hey, what's up, Mr. T? Happy New Year. So I went through Yakuza Like a Dragon's premium mode, which is the post-game stuff. And there's 2 in-game dungeons, the Millennium Tower. So there's like the regular Millennium Tower, then there's the true Millennium Tower, where enemies can one-shot you. So I spent last week grinding in the sewers of Kamurocho, and I ended up getting all my characters to level 99. I got all their job classes to level 99, at least one of them, and then I just kind of rounded out every single one of them. Got all the crazy equipment, got all the boosts, had a good meal, and me and my buddy Mark, we went up to this was the first time I think we tried the true Millennium Tower, and we had everything, like all of our healing items, all of our pound mates. We went through it, and we treated every encounter like a in-game boss fight because they could one-shot you. And I had Ichiban, he was the knight. I had Seiko, she was the idol, so she was our healing class. I had Jungi, who's, I believe, the Korean guy. Thank you for subscribing. We just got a sub note over there. I had Jungi. He was the assassin class, so he was just, like, delivering heavy hits. And then I had Adachi, who's the old detective dude. He was an enforcer, so he was essentially our tank. He was there to protect everyone and take the damage, and that fucking true Millennium Tower is brutal. Like you'll get so far, like you think that you're unstoppable because you're level 99, but every single one of those bosses will humble you. You have to fight You have to fight Kiryu, Majima, Goro, or not Goro, Seijima, and then the other, like the boss of Like a Dragon. Anyways, it all culminates with you getting to the top of the Millennium Tower, and you fight the hidden boss, and then during like move 4, he summons Kiryu, Majima, Seijima, and then I think one other. You're like fighting 5 guys at max level, and they can one-shot your party. So I was pulling every trick in the book, but I did it. Y'all can check my Xbox profile. I did it. I got the 1,000 out of 1,000 on Yakuza Like a Dragon. I'm really excited for the sequel this year. I am playing through Lost Judgment, kind of, but the story's not grabbing me. Anyway, this is Ginormo Sword. Without any further ado, shall I remind all the people in the chat, please? For 2023. Leave that like. Get out of my face. Thank you so much for leaving that like. I don't know if it does anything. I'm on an island by myself over here on Hikiko land here. Anyway, this is Ginormo Sword. As I loudly crunch my caramel popcorn into the mic. Ginormo Sword is a game that I played in high school. I got... this is stupid, but my mom asked me, okay, you and your grandparents are going to help you get a graduation present. So you have the option between a car or a laptop. Now, laptops are super cheap right now. Like, you can probably get a laptop, a shitty little netbook or something for like $200 nowadays. But back when I was in high school, laptops were super expensive, but also very useful for college. So, of course, I went with the laptop. And one of the first games I ever played was this Flash game. It didn't run any games, essentially. It would run ROMs and emulators, and that's all I needed it for. But I think I was like reading a website and I heard about this game called Ginormo Sword. So this is a ye old Flash game. Oh, actually, I think this is 2008. So maybe I was in college. I don't know. Maybe it's an old build of it or something that I was playing. Anyway, this is Ginormo Sword. So you're a hero. I have 0 gold right now. So you can go to the forest. There's the antique store. You can see at the top how I'm traveling here. I got to make sure it doesn't have a lot of sound effects or anything, so I'm just going to have to narrate. So this is the inn. This shows you what I got. This is what I'm rocking with here. That's my sword, the base sword. I got 1 strength, 1 vitality, 1 intelligence, 1 luck. You know, this is just like my IRL stats, if we're getting down to it. So that's how we're starting things out. Okay, base level. Hey, what's up, Bradley? And I think I have to start out in, it's an RPG. You have to start off in the forest, taking out grunt little zombies. So, oh no, I got hit. It kind of plays like Diablo 2. I think you have to, like, go back to where your body is. But your sword is a hitbox, and as long as the enemy occupies that hitbox, it counts for, like, multiple hits. So the goal here is to just... You grab all the gold, and then you go upgrade your little Ginormo sword. So right now, we just got a modest little sword here, okay? It gets the job done. Nothing to write home about. So then you go to the antique store. Hi, this is our little shop here. Hello. So you can go up here. Our katana here, we can get 250 gold. Level 2, it's got 1 fire, but -1 water. So yeah, we can get a little... once we get 250 gold, we can get that. And I think there's another place where we enhance our Ginormo sword. So there's the plains. There's ruins. I think this is... oh, there's skellies. Can't go in there just yet. So right now we're exploring the map. There's a place that I can go to enhance this sword. I'm not sure where it's at yet, but we're going to... This is exploring, okay? Back in my day, this is how we did it. Oh, we got some slimes. Little kitty cat slimes. Our first goal is going to get that katana, but they're only dropping like 26 gold. This is pathetic. We have to go back to those goblins. Smirk asks if I recommend Judgment. I recommend the first one. The second one has some cool things about it, like you can play Sega Master System. There are some interesting mini games and stuff, but the main story is a snooze fest. It's all about bullying. Well, at least the beginning part is. And I don't know. The story just did not grab me at all. I heard the DLC is pretty good. There's a side character that you can play as, and he's got like his own little adventures, and he's actually from the Yakuza. I'm not digging Lost Judgment as much as the first one yet, but I will probably play through it before the new Yakuzas come out. I'll let you know how I feel after that. You appreciate the dances these dudes are doing? Yeah, they are quite jovial. Wait a second. The game is hella loud. Let me fix that. I was worried about that. Okay, let me see if I can adjust this. I'll cut it down. Sorry, the audio hits a bit too high. Okay, well, the sound effects are a tad loud. Okay, I think I've mitigated that. Thank you for letting me know early in the stream. You guys don't know how much I appreciate that. The people who tell me about the audio levels at the beginning of the streams are the real MVPs. You don't know how many streams I've wandered into, like where somebody's playing Call of Duty or something, and you just hear these fucking mortar rounds and just... You can't hear the person playing the game at all, like, give it their commentary. And people are like, this is fine. No, this is great. And everyone has fucking tinnitus by the end of it, so thank you. Thank you so much for letting me know. So we got the katana there. But it does nothing to the Beetle Bros, so we just got to move on. Let's see how the katana fares. How's the audio now? Because I cut it by like 20 decibels, so it should be enough to just hear the little ding ding, you know? So we got a boss showing up over there. I don't think I'm ready for the boss. He got that glowing icon right here. Audio's perfect. Thank you so much, Oak. Thank you so much, Fragile. Real MVPs up in this stream. All right. So now we can just slay these cats like nothing. See, back in my day, we didn't play Demon Souls. We played Ginormo Sword. I don't know. I was a broke boy when I first started college. In fact, I was a broke boy throughout most of college. So I would just play these shitty little grindy flash games. I guess nowadays people are playing Cookie Clicker and all that crap. But Ginormo Sword was where it was at. Oh, I got this. Orc Leader. He's going down. I'm hoping somebody ports this game to the Atari 2600. I'd buy a card of that. Oh, hell yeah. Look at that. We rich now. It's the first of the month. Time to blow that government paycheck right now. So nothing at the shop right now. Let's see at the end. So we can switch between the Ginormo Sword, the dagger, or the katana. I gotta find the blacksmith. Eventually, okay, so here's the world map. I went up a little bit. I defeated the boss, so now I can go over to this section of the map. And I think this might be the shrine right here. So, this dude right here. This reminds me of Wario Land 3. There's a giant clown. That's the main antagonist, and it looks just like him. Okay. Port it to Switch so we can get the overpriced limited run games cards. Hey, I'm a fan of those. Sometimes. I don't like waiting for limited run games. The face is cool. So you gain 1 strength, kind of expensive, can't afford it. But I'm going to run into I think this might be the blacksmith. Nope, not yet. The blacksmith is when the real Ginormo Sword begins. So we got a metal slime. Neko Metal is what they're called. All the characters have names. You can see them in the top left corner up there. So, how's your 2023? How was your holiday, everyone? I've been I don't know what's going on with YouTube lately. I put out a sweary file, so if you haven't, oh no, I got charmed. Yeah, I forgot about these. Can I show that? Those little pixel nipples? Can I show that on stream? Is my channel gonna get canned? I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels. Like, everyone's been putting out their 2022 year in review, or their top 10 YouTube or top 10 video games up on YouTube, and it seems like everyone just has like a general, I don't know, malaise, a general blah feeling. Maybe it's because it's the winter months or whatever, but seems like everyone's kind of given up. And I say this from the few channels that I've been watching lately. Like, I think Modern Vintage Gamer just simply put out a YouTube video that said, "I'm done." And it was a tad clickbaity because he's not really done with the channel, but he was kind of making a point that his content, he kind of occupies a retro gaming content space. And I do too. I talk about some retro games here and there. But I talk about modern as well. So I'm not fully retro, but I'm kind of there. Anyway, I think his little video kind of spurred this mass, I wouldn't say quitting, but it felt like some people were like, oh, if Modern Vintage Gamer can't swing in the retro space, I'm not going to. So, like, one of the channels I was following put out this long video about how they're giving up doing retro content, and I guess they had, like, okay, long story short, this channel I've been following last year quit their job to do YouTube full-time, which is never recommended, my friends. Never recommended. It's not guaranteed income. YouTube provides no insurance. YouTube is not, unless you've already been grandfathered in. Let's put it this way. Like, even if you have 100,000 subs, I wouldn't recommend quitting your job and doing YouTube full time. I think, like, even Mudahar still has a job or something. Like, he's got like a couple of million. Anyway, so this channel I've been following, I'm not going to give the name because I really like this dude, and I'm not knocking him at all. But he quit his full-time job, which he had for 20-odd years. So, like, this dude probably had a pension. Like, if he stuck it out for maybe another, 10 or so, he could probably retire. But I don't know. Whatever the reason is, he quit his job. And fuck these people. They keep charming me. So he decided to pursue YouTube full-time. And he had 2 channels. So his main channel kind of blew up because he was making these weird tutorial videos, like how to repair your PS4 controller, and I guess it like hit 1 million views, right? So he got the taste. And the taste happens. The taste happens when you've been doing YouTube for a bit. Like, occasionally the algorithm will bless you and you get the taste. Like, oh, I actually profited off of this video this one time. And you kind of get this itch in your mind, like, should I keep on this trajectory? Should I keep trying to reproduce this, this hit that I've had? And that's kind of what he wanted to do. So he got 1 million views off of this controller video. And it wasn't like anything complex. It was just like, 5 ways to repair your PS4 controller. And so he decided to quit his full-time job and try giving YouTube a swing. And, that's admirable. And so he realized all the people that he attracted with that million view video weren't necessarily, they didn't come back for more. They were there just for that one thing, and it just kind of dropped off from there. And believe me, that has happened to me more times than I can count. Like, people, they'll check out one thing that you've done, but they won't go check out the rest. And I don't know how that works analytically speaking, like what YouTube gods prefer, but it's probably not that good. Like, if people don't come back and check out your other stuff, then YouTube kind of pigeonholes you into making the same video that, I don't know, found you success outside of your regular subs. So I think that's what he had in his head from that moment is, okay, this one controller video that made, a million views, I got to keep doing that style of video. So in real time, I watched this dude's channel go from like making these great retro videos, like where he was talking about like how he organized his entire collection. Like, this dude has, I gotta say, one of the most impressive retro game collections, because his whole theme with his retro game room was the most functional retro game room of all time. Like, he has over, I'm not exaggerating, 50 systems all hooked up to one TV. Like, he has like this elaborate switch box setup and all these cables running up these like metal shelves, like a seriously impressive feat. But this one controller video is kind of like was the evil seed that planted. Like, he gave up doing like passionate hobbyist kind of videos like he used to, and he started chasing the algorithm dragon. And this is a very dangerous thing for you YouTubers out there. Don't chase it unless your plan is to I don't know, regurgitate the news every day and talk about every gaming rumor there is and all that shit. If that's your plan and it works out for you, that's good. But sometimes you can't capture lightning in a bottle, and that's what was happening to like one of my favorite channels. Like, he would make videos like tutorial how to turn on your Xbox. Tutorial how to plug in the HDMI cable. Tutorial, like, this whole channel just devolved into like impact font, big green and red impact font, large red arrow, how to. And it was sad because, as I said, this dude gave up his entire career to do this, and he's clearly chasing this controller video. And then so his numbers started tanking on his main channel because his loyal subscribers weren't coming back. I check out his videos still and see what he was up to, but his loyal, like, longtime subscribers weren't coming back, and the algorithm wasn't picking up the new videos. So he had kind of a predicament. He had built up the initial channel based on like retro game videos and his collection and stuff like that. But he had kind of abandoned his original audience, and the new audience wasn't coming. So he decided to do a split where he split his channel like into two. So he had like the controller tutorial channel where he like just rebranded himself into tutorial channel. Like, this shit was sad. Like, it's like how to sign into your Xbox. 3 easy steps, Like, he went from like making like cool videos about having like 50 game systems hooked up at once, and then all this crazy furniture that he built to like keep his whole collection, to like telling a grandma how to turn on their TV videos, right? And so he created a second channel, and his second channel was like made to lure his initial subs, like his loyal fans, over to the second channel, and that's where he was going to post all of his retro game stuff. Well, honestly, his plan was working. Like, he had gotten all these people to like migrate over that loved his original channel for the retro gaming content. He got all of them to migrate over, and he was like building this really core audience. Like, he had a decent amount of patrons. He had he had like people, I don't know, like 10,000 views and stuff on his videos for like a fresh channel. That's pretty good, in my opinion. Hell, that's pretty good for me, and I've had my channel around for a while. Like, I'd be happy with that. But he couldn't find the same kind of success that he was getting on his tutorial videos, because after a while, the algorithm would pick up those tutorial videos. So like how to turn on your Xbox was blowing up, how to clean your controller, you know, stuff like that. That's what the algorithm was favoring. So like he made an announcement video kind of off the back of Modern Vintage Gamer's video. So like to recap, Modern Vintage Gamer put out this video where he's like, I'm done. Here's why I'm done. We need to talk about why I'm done. So in that video, Modern Vintage Gamer's just like, the YouTube retro market is saturated, and I can no longer do this. So I think the main thesis of Modern Vintage Gamer's I'm done video was, I got a full-time job and it pays me a fuck ton of money compared to YouTube, and like YouTube, like a lot of people are kind of abandoning shit because the payout on YouTube is nothing. It is minimum wage job in 2023 paying more than like 100,000, 200,000 sub channel does on YouTube nowadays. It's sad though. It's tough. The whole situation's tough all around. So I think the ultimate point of holy shit, Robin Hood here. The ultimate point of Modern Vintage Gamer's channel is like, I'm not going to be diverting a lot of my time into my channel as much as I did last year. I got this new full-time job. You know, I'm just going to be making the things I want to make and then bounce in there. Like, I'm not going to be covering every flavor of the week thing. However, the channel I was talking about, this retro gaming channel, dude, took that as a warning shot. Like, oh no, it's all coming to a close. I better stop doing retro content. And so he puts out this long video saying like, I'm never going to reach the heights of RGT85. I'm never going to reach the heights of Metal Jesus, so I should just hang it all up here. I should stop making my retro videos, and I'm just going to focus on the tutorial videos on the other channel. Because I've now tied my entire well-being to my YouTube channel. So that's the way it's going to be from here on out. And I don't know what to say about that. Like, I did leave him a comment, and I didn't mean to like come off as overly critical. I always feel weird. Like, I try not to comment on anyone's channel ever, and unless I have something nice to say, because I always feel like I'm coming off like an asshole. And it's maybe the context of the situation. We just upgraded our strength. Maybe it's just like people don't understand sarcasm or humor or whatever. Like, I try not to be funny in the comments, and I just leave a compliment and run. But I left this dude kind of a lengthy comment and it wasn't like anything mean. Like, who am I to like judge anyone? Guys, this is it. This is where Ginormo Sword really begins. So I leave this dude a comment. I'm like, hey, I think what you're doing here at this new channel is great. Like, it's you're clearly passionate. You've got fresh ideas, and maybe you should just, like, if you enjoy doing it, like, maybe not worry so much about the numbers, because it's really easy to get caught up in the numbers and lose sight of the good work that you're doing. And that's coming from me. Like, I really mean that. That's a talk I've had to have with myself a lot, is like, don't get so caught up in the numbers if you know you're doing, as long as you're proud of the work that you're doing and people, seem to like what you're doing. And I was like, maybe the reason why you're going this direction is because you've tied your entire financial well-being to, a shot in the dark. Like, you're not going to capture that same success again by doing the same thing, I feel. Anyway, I left him that comment, but then there was a cascade of other like really negative comments that I don't want to repeat everything that was said, but the general consensus was like, dude, you fucked up the moment you started chasing money. How dare you chase money on YouTube? Fuck you, dude. That you deserve to fail. And that is not my sentiment. I do not share that sentiment at all. Anyway, we're at the blacksmith right now. This is where the true Ginormo Sword begins. Okay, so I can do a 50-50 even out, but right now you can decrease the length, increase the length of your katana, maximum length, maximum width, increase width, and then raise weapon level. So I think I don't know. Can I increase? So okay, maybe I have to raise the level before I can do that. Okay, here we go. So I think you have to raise the level, and then you can choose which one of these that you can lengthen. So it may not look that different, but trust me, it's different. As the game progresses, you can increase the length and width of your katana, my samurai. Yeah, this is the game that somebody reminded me of during my Vampire Survivors stream there. So thank you to whoever it was that found it. People all depend on Patreon, says Oakland. I don't think there's a limit to the size. I think this is like a never-ending kind of game, but we're going to find out together. I'm going to play it a couple hours, maybe a few. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so the guy who I was talking about, the retro channel I was following, he's not the only one I've heard from. There's a lot of, I guess, people that are kind of worried about retro gaming spaces and stuff like that. It's got me a little paranoid. Like, I don't want to say I'm not going to cover anything retro in the new year, but there's YouTube is definitely not pushing retro content as much. Like, I covered a retro game in my last video. Worst performing video I've had in some time. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what cope that I can rationalize what's going on with the channel. But it did not push my latest Swery files at all. And it's weird because, like, Swery tweeted it out. I had some other big accounts tweet it out, and a lot of people enjoyed it. But YouTube just... I looked at the analytics, and it just did not... Like, YouTube did not push the video to my actual subscribers at all. And it didn't push it to, like, new people either. We're going to do increased length. We're just going to focus on length build. That's all that matters. Anyway, so I really don't know what to do about that. Now, some of my videos are like long-term gainers. I think eventually... oh, damn, we died. I think eventually my videos like do well after a period of time. Like, my Wii U video is exploding... and that didn't do anything. It hung at 2,000 for, I don't know, a few months. And now it's like reaching 80,000, which is really cool. It's one of my more successful videos. But I think the retro gaming space in general, like if you're trying to start a retro gaming YouTube channel, the modern vintage gamers, right? The market is rather saturated. The people that do get the views have been grandfathered in from covering it for a long time. And I think this all like boils down to age of subscribers. Like Gen Xers are probably the ones that watch the retro gaming channels the most. And the older you are, the less likely you are to like branch out and try something new. I find this with myself. Like, I still watch the same channels I've been watching for 10 years. I've maybe added like 1 or 2 subs per year on average of new channels that I check out. So if you're trying to start a retro gaming channel, chances are you're not going to win over new subs. Like, Zoomers and stuff, they just don't give a shit. They like shorts. They like short, to the point, punchline content. So you're probably not going to get the Zoomer demo, which is probably the biggest demographic of YouTube nowadays. The millennials, they're the ones you want to target because, you know, they're about 50-50. You can win some millennials over, and they'll stick with you for a while. I would say that millennials make up the base of my channel, and that's a good thing. I'm a millennial, so I kind of understand that mindset. But Gen Xers, good luck. You really, really got to come to the table with something new. And that's hard to do in the retro gaming space because most of it's been covered. Most of it's been done before. So we're going to raise 2 levels, and we're going to go for that link, my boys. Look at that long See, this is how you play. All right, now we're walking into the club with our 7-inch katana. We're feeling a little bit better about ourselves. Well, I'm going to do a little bit of grinding. Read some chat. Sorry, chat, I'm neglecting you. Octarine, probably the game's just not that well known. Not as sexy as Deadly P or the idea of exploring the failure of the good life. Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point. I want to cover obscure stuff and follow the career of Swery. And I don't think it's that. I really don't think it's that because people love the obscure stuff. That's why they're subbed to my channel. If they weren't into the obscure stuff, then why are they here, you know? I certainly think it's more of shit not being pushed. The discoverability. Somebody mentioned that just the name Extermination channels some very dark parts of history, so maybe it's deboosted based on the very virtue of the title. I guess. You could go mad trying to think what it is. I honestly, I can't tell you because like YouTube is a guessing game. It's a game of mastermind. The rules are never transparent. And if you make the wrong move, you could just like tank your entire channel over something out of your control. But I do think a lot of it is saturation. I mean, there are probably 1 billion channels out there now. Like everybody with their phone making shorts. Like every time I go to my watch page on YouTube, I'm flooded with 6 or 7 thumbnails of shorts, and they're constantly pushing shorts. I scroll through my feed. They're short. People are chopping up their. Hey, thanks for the sub. Breaking silence. Yeah, that's Silent Hill 2 right there. I'll be talking about that this year, hopefully. Oh shit! 1-hit kill from Satan there. Okay, that didn't work out. We need to grind a little bit more, boys and girls. What was I saying? Oh yeah, YouTube Shorts. Instagram's flooded with like Instagram stories. Facebook has stories. TikTok is just a cancer that will not metastasize. It is so ubiquitous is the word I want to say. Like short content, easily digestible, get straight to the punchline. Long form bros. Our time is over. What do you think? It's like 2 ends of the spectrum, though. The way I look at it. Like, yeah, either you make the most short, distilled content imaginable, or you go to the opposite spectrum and make like 14-hour Persona 5 character analysis. 14-hour Persona 5 character analysis on Anne. The most two-dimensional of the bunch of that fucking cast. And then just make white noise. Just absolute white noise ASMR for people that are passively watching your content. At best. Like they got it. I just got it on for background noise. I just like to fall asleep to your videos. I just got it on for background noise. Which is Which to some people, they don't give a shit. But I'm like, God, man, I put a lot of time and thought into this one. And then just, you get that little, yeah, just put it on in the background. I'm doing dishes or something. Just put it on in the background. Thank you. We're gonna length. Length is all that matters. I think I gotta level up too because my defense is shit. So the next thing, I'm gonna go to the shrine and level up our defense. It's over, Longform Sisters. It's over, says LaBelle. I love Anne Frank. I'm low attention span zoomer, but I love your vids. Well, I appreciate that. I never know, and I'm glad. I honestly get happy when a zoomer tells me they like my content. Gives me hope that maybe there is some space for longer form content or analysis shit. I just don't know. When you get older, you start to lose touch with your audience sometimes. Like, you don't know who they are. People move on. People die. People just leave YouTube. They get frustrated with it. Like last year, a lot of my favorite subscribers just up and quit. Just yesterday, one of my favorite streamers, Mr. Medicur's dying. One of the OGs. You're like, oh, God. And the funny thing is, like, I was watching that, watching that stream, a little bit of a tear in my eye. And I come to think, like, of all the people who started aping Mr. Medicur's bit and his commentary, because that's what Mr. Medicur was, like, the first to cover, like, weird, esoteric people on the internet. Long before everyone, like, this may date me, but, like, I'm an old 4chan guy, okay? Oh, I'm breaking the rule. But I'm an old 4chan guy, and, like, stuff like Chris Chan, stuff like Spax, and the Pissed Off Angry Gamer, that was kind of a niche, that was kind of a niche little community, like, where they were inside jokes and stuff like that. And now Chris Chan's in the mainstream. Like, Chris Chan's getting mentions in Sonic cartoons, and there's, like, little references here and there in popular culture. And there's, like, 1,000 other people now just making the same old Chris Chan lore videos. Like, there's only one good series, and that's Geno Samuels. But there's people that just, like, read Chris Chan's prison letters and shit like that. But I feel Mr. Medicur was, like, the first of his kind to cover those weird esoteric internet figures and odd communities that you would just never discover on your own. And now there's, like, 1,000 clones of Mr. Medicur, like, where it's that smug, cocky, faceless internet guy who thinks they have the high ground in the situation. And, maybe you could call them A-logs or whatever, but there's now just a whole bunch of other, like, Medicur clones that have just been eating his lunch for years. And, like, this dude's dying last stream, and where are they? Like, they've made so much super chat money. They've made so much money off YouTube. They can't even kick Jim a little, tithing or whatever, a little bit for the Don, for the OG. Like, they weren't there in that stream. The OGs were there. The OG Kings were there, and they paid their respects. And I feel like if you're gonna ape somebody's bit, at least pay them some respects, So that kind of went down last night. That was sad. I didn't get to catch it live. I caught the VOD. Who do we got in here? I'm 23. Is that Zoomer material or what? That's close, Bradley. I think you're on the cusp. You're, like, right there between Zoomer and Millennial. Mr. T, I launched my channel at the end of the month. I'm just going to be treating it as a hobby. I'm only making videos I want to make. It'd be cool if my channel took off, but I'm not going to sweat it. Well, Mr. T, I wish you the best of luck, my friend. I don't know. I can't really offer any advice because that would presume that I know how the game is played. I mean, I kind of have an idea of how the game is played on YouTube, but it really appeals to the lowest common denominator, like really short attention spans, quick videos. And I feel a lot of YouTube success is dependent on tricks. Tricking your audience with vague titles. Like if I had named my extermination video the one game Swery refuses to talk about, which is not true. He does talk about it. Not often, but he does talk about it. Like if I had named it that, maybe the algorithm would pick it up. But I feel a lot of modern channels are predicated on tricking people. Like abandoning the identity of your channel. Just abandoning what your content's about and just trying to tricking new people into watching. You know, it's really become the worst form of clickbait. Without spoiling, like, you know, or revealing a private conversation I had with somebody, there was, we'll just say, a really, really large YouTuber. You've probably heard of them. You wouldn't think they would watch my channel at all, by the way. This is somebody that just kind of came out of left field, and I was like, oh, they watch my channel? That's cool. Last year, somebody had a talk with me, about why my channel, what my channel could do to be more successful. And it all boiled down to two pieces of advice. Making the thumbnail stupid. Like just making it a face with a reaction. And not my face, but like a character or an anime figure or something with a reaction. Like very, very much simplifying my thumbnails. And the second piece of the advice was to make those tricky titles, like where you don't tell what you're talking about. Like my opinion on video titles should be the topic, right? My topic was about extermination, so I just put it there. Video description, you know, fills out the rest of the gaps. Sweary Files, it's a running series, so the people who watch it would normally do it. But I know that's not necessarily inviting to new people who haven't watched the other ones, you know? But I feel like my hypothesis is you make one really good video that kind of anchors your content. So like the first Sweary Files on Deadly Premonition does that. After they watch that, there's the playlist. They'll go through and they'll watch the other 4 after that. And if they do that, I consider it a success. I wanted to make kind of like a continuing series. That's all that's the only ambition I had for that project. But yeah, this person was trying to school me on it, and I appreciate their advice. Like I definitely see where they're coming from, and I'm not shitting on them, but it just feels dirty to me. It does feel dirty to me to like retitle videos that I've already uploaded and change the thumbnail. And I think what that does is it kind of tricks old subscribers to clicking on the same video that they've already watched, in a sense. So I make a video, and then maybe it doesn't perform well, so I go back and I retitle it, and then I make a new thumbnail, and then if somebody's like going through their video history or whatever, they're like, oh, I don't remember watching this one from old Hikiko. When was this? And then they click it, and it's like, oh, I have already watched this one. So I did try it out, and I gotta say, the ones that I tried it out on seem to be working. Like not immediately, but they have been finding some like long-term momentum. So if you'll go on my channel, you'll notice that I've retitled a few videos, all like my system videos, like the PS3 upgrades in games, the Wii U upgrades in games, the Nintendo Wii one. I retitled those, and I did this like last month, so I could try and bump them up in the search rankings or whatever. Just a thing. I retitled them, Why You Need a Wii U in 2023. And this is a thing I've been doing for a couple of years now. Every time there's a new year that rolls around, I just retitle those videos. Like I change one digit on them. And they do find some momentum. Like I do have people that watch them, and they're the most successful videos on my channel in the long run. So I guess there is some legitimacy to the science there. Yeah, Oakland, like, Cinemasker redid the thumbnails. I did not redo the thumbnails. They are the same thumbnails. They are the same thumbnails. But yeah, I don't know what to do. Every year that passes, there's always that looking back at the year, what could you do better? And I don't always have an answer to that, I guess. A lot of people just say upload more videos, but I don't know. I think for me to upload more videos, I really have to have one that catches, or gets enough momentum to get me inspired to keep doing it. Otherwise, I just kind of stick to just the one thing I'm passionate about for that month. Just to keep things consistent. So the one video per month kind of thing keeps me consistent, and I don't really worry about burnout, or you don't have to see me making a I'm done video for the year. I'm done, but I'm not really. I'm just going to keep doing it and punishing myself. So I try to I try and rack my brain, but the thing is, like, I only want to make videos that I actually care about. And that's the thing, like, I have a hard time faking it. My big problem on YouTube is I can't not be genuine about my feelings on something. Some of my videos that did blow up were, like, when I just talked about Silent Hill. I did nothing on that video. That video took me, like, maybe 10 minutes. And it's more successful to some of the videos that I put, like, 100 hours into. Which is sad in a way. But I think YouTube, after a while, pushes content creators in the low-effort direction. And if I'm just putting in, like, low effort, then I just stop caring. And if I stop caring, then I don't want to make videos. Like, I want to be passionate about the work that I do, and am proud of the editing and time I put into something, even if it's not successful long term or in the short term. Like, long term, I feel my videos do pick up, and people seem to go back and watch them and stuff like that. I guess they refer to that as evergreen content, but that's in the eye of the beholder. I don't know. I don't have a, like, Mr. T, you're starting up right now. Like, the main thing is you should talk about things you care about, and don't chase the algorithm dragon. Don't just be scrolling through Kotaku or Polygon or whatever and just saying, okay, what are the headlines for today? And let me see if I can just take this author's work and summarize it or stretch it out into the length of a 10-minute video. I wish I were joking, but that's really the ticket to a lot of success. Like, quick, cheap heat, disposable videos, and a lot of them. Like 3 videos a day. And I honestly don't care that much about the current state of video games, because it's mostly trash. Bad things are happening all the time. I could sit here and get mad about all the shady practices and how no content, like, the content you receive doesn't feel complete, or it just feels like unfinished. Like, a lot of my favorite games or games I was looking forward to in the past couple of years have released in unfinished states. Notably, No More Heroes 3 and Deadly Premonition 2. Both widely, like, I don't know. Both are widely criticized by the mainstream, but the cult audience keeps giving it passes, keeps giving, like, Suda, like, that's what he was going for. He never intended to finish No More Heroes 3, or, oh, Deadly Premonition 2 is fine, you're just complaining. It's always been shit. No, it hasn't. I hear that cope all the time. And I feel like the state of modern gaming and commentary on modern gaming has just become one big cope circle. like where people try and rationalize how shit things have become. And saying like, well, what did you expect? Your expectations are too high. Don't criticize the developer. Like, don't sit here and expect anything more. They couldn't do it. It was impossible for them to finish. How are they ever going to find the money? I'm like, well, scaling back is always an option. Scaling back from the get-go, having a focus, instead of making a wide open world game, why not just make a small little mystery? A 3-hour mystery. Deadly premonition mystery, a case that York goes on. And just have it wrap up in 3 to 4 hours. And then aim there and use that. Like Suda kind of did this with Travis Strikes Again. He made like a nice little 6-hour game that recounted all of his greatest games that to come before. Trip down memory lane, and then just use that money to help fund No More Heroes 3. But the bottom fell out on that. Hey, what's up, Nero Smith? Good to see you. Nero, I think you missed my Medicare talk there, but pour one out for Cancer Man. Farrah says, people putting "I'm done" in their titles on videos is mad and irritating. I think I've done it before. At least I said I'm taking a break, because I've had to take a break a couple of times. It's usually because in my head, I'll be like, okay, I think I did everything right. I think this should be successful. And then just the algorithm just shits on me, or no one discovers the videos I put out. And I get all these, I get waves of comments every week. Like, oh my God, when did you put this out? Damn it, YouTube, for not notifying me. And I don't know how much of that is the case here or what, or my audience is growing up or moving on, whatever the case may be. You occasionally just need a break to recalibrate, or you do get burnout for sure. But a lot of my favorite content creators just quit long ago. They've been out since, I guess, the adpocalypse. A lot of people just straight up dipped when that happened. Which, in a way, is sad because, it's... if your true colors are, coming in here specifically for money and not for, the pride in your work and talking with the community and sharing your love for something, then yeah, okay, see you later. It would be nice. I would certainly not turn my nose up at making a little money on here, but this is mostly a self-funded operation. There's a lot of money and time and energy that goes into making these videos and stuff like that. And I think my audience, at the very least, understands that. I take a little bit. I put out my monthly video, and my audience seems to hang with me and appreciate it. So I'm not knocking them, but just the sheer amount of content that it's, I guess, competing against, which is a weird word because I feel like I'm just in my own little niche of talking about obscure Japanese games that I like. But I was saying, though, back on the point of the games that I was looking forward to coming out in incomplete fashion, like No More Heroes 3 and Deadly Premonition 2 are probably the prime example. The Good Life, prime examples of that happening. And I don't know what the solution is to that. Maybe there should probably be more episodic models or something like that, or in-between games, little spin-off games to help fund the main event. And I think Suda had the right idea with Travis Strikes Again. Now, Travis Strikes Again is a middle-of-the-road game. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's kind of charming with its commentary. It's an autobiographical tale that Suda put out, Grasshopper put out. I did like that about it, but I think there should be more in-between games to kind of tide people over and give another way to support your favorite developer. Smaller focus games. I don't think you should make excuses for unfinished games at all. You should be a little bit upset that the developers went out there and made all those promises that they couldn't keep. Or, I mean, they should apologize in some way, or at least acknowledge it. Some people just will never do that. Look how long our katana is, boys. We're getting there. I want to see, by the end of the stream, this katana. I want to see this katana right up here. Right up here. Okay, I want to kiss this little box up here. If we can get that, I will consider that a success. Hey, what's up, Randolph? I'm doing just fine. I Love Anne Frank says, No More Heroes 3 was fun combat-wise. Other than that, it stunk. Yeah, I got some shit for saying that. That was my primary point about No More Heroes 3 was the combat was phenomenal. Some of the mini games were funny too, but the open world just did not need to happen. I don't know what is going on in the No More Heroes community where they hate No More Heroes 2 for getting rid of Santa Destroy, like the open world bits, but that was the smartest move Grasshopper ever made. I know Suda didn't direct it, so chill. But that was one of the smartest moves that he did because I'll let you in on a secret. Driving around Santa Destroy was never fun. The Schlepp Tiger was way too big. It collided with everything. Travis would fly off the motorcycle all the time, and then you'd have to run back to it, running around digging for change. And I think the only good part about Santa Destroy was finding the t-shirts. Hey, what's up, Master Chief Snake? Look at this riveting gameplay. Sometimes it's all about the simple concept, okay? I want a big sword. I want to hit things with my big sword. I want to make my sword bigger. That's all I need. That's all I need out of a game. Oh, God, look at all that gold. Look at all that gold. We're doing it. All of it into the sword. We're getting closer. We got about a couple inches here before we touch the top. Let me read a little bit of chat. What's up, Ray Cortex? I wish Telltale Games wasn't out of the market. They were kind of double A's in that way. Ray, they are making Wolf Among Us Season 2. Somebody is, if not Telltale. That's one of the only, I guess you would call them visual novel games I'm looking forward to. Hey! Hold up. J-Spot with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Happy Hikiko New Year. What a cool stream. J-Spot, if everyone will look in the chat right there, it kind of shows up on the screen, but J-Spot, he's got the little Hikikomori badge, the Hikiko hat, the video that started it all. He's been a subscriber for over a year now. You get that little hat if you're a member for that, and then there it is. There's the Ashley Mizuki Robbins up there on the screen, our girl. Our daddy taught us not to be ashamed of our swords, especially since they're a good size and all.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
That's for you, Nero. Thank you. So yeah, we got the Hikiko hat on there. Thank you for the super chat. That's going to be going to the first chicken sandwich of the new year. I had Spam Musubi last night, J-Spot. Have you ever had Spam Musubi? It's essentially just a piece of Spam wrapped in seaweed with rice. One of the all-time greats of snack food. It's kind of like onigiri. Ray Cortex says, I'll be honest, sorry if this sounded rude. I already knew that, but I wish they had more stuff I could look forward to that isn't just The Wolf Among Us. I'd love a new poker night. Oh, poker night at the inventory? Now that is a deep cut. Speaking of poker, Ray Cortex, anyone in chat ever play the Resident Evil 7 Biohazard DLC? That's some of my all-time favorite DLC Resident Evil 7. There's a game on there called 21, and it's canon. All the DLC is pretty much canon. So 21 has you as playing as this guy named Clancy, who was one of the news reporters that was captured by the Bakers. You're playing a game of 21 against another victim of the Bakers, and like every time you lose a round, it chops off one of your fingers. So it's high stakes game of poker, and Lucas Baker is running the whole show, and there's like 4 different modes. There's like, story mode, a survival mode, survival plus. And I worked my way up to Survival Plus, and it's the most brutal game of 21 out there. Like, they have these things like trump cards where you can pull out all these superpowers and mess up your enemy's hands and swap out cards and stuff. It is so addicting. So me and my buddy Mark are trying to go through all Resident Evil 7's DLC and 100% it. So last year we did Ethan Must Die mode. We beat that. There's Jack's 50th birthday where you have to feed Jack Baker. There's the Marguerite escape the room thing. We did that. That was pretty easy. But right now, we're playing the End of Zoe stuff where you play as Jack's brother Joe Baker the redneck, who lives in a little shed in the swamp, and he fights all the molded with his bare hands, and he's twisting necks. He finds a power glove, and there's this great big duel with this guy called the Swamp Man. Anyway, so we're going through that on Joe Must Die mode, like where there's one-hit kills and traps, and you gotta like make all these spears out of wood and eat all these bugs. Gotta eat the bugs. And we're having a great time with that, so we're going through that. Master Chief says, I've eaten Spam Musubi a long time ago. My mother cooked it before. It's a really easy meal to make. So if you're in need out there, and if you want to get in touch with your Nippon brethren, make some Spam Musubi. It's real good. I love Spam in general. Spam is one of my go-to meals. Spam and pineapple on King Hawaiian buns. Ooh, very nice. Hey!
Oh my god!
Ferris Nagatome, $5 super chat. Could we get your opinion on how modern video games could benefit from Fumito Ueda's design by subtraction, aka minimalist game design, please? Thanks. Ferris, that is like one of the most thoughtful super chats I've gotten in a long time. So thank you, long-time subscriber, Ferris. Fumito Ueda, I've made one video on my channel about Eco, whatever you want to say. I know it's Eco because it's the sequel's called Nico, right? Fumito Ueda created Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, Last Guardian, and worked with Kenji Ino on, I believe it was Enemy Zero as a graphic designer. Designed by subtraction. I mean, like, look at what I'm playing right now. What, isn't this just Dark Souls stripped down to its barest forms, or really any RPG to its most barest minimal forms? Now, there's two minds about it. I look at games like Vampire Survivors. That is designed by subtraction. You literally just move around an analog stick, okay? There's minimal involvement. The only choice from the player is really what power-up you want to stack on your character, and then you just move around the field. There's something that taps into a primal gamer instinct. I don't know how to describe it other than that. I've been playing video games my entire life, and I kind of grew up. I played my mom. She had like an Atari 2600. So I played my mom's Atari 2600. Very simple games. Concepts that can be described in maybe a sentence to people, okay? Not very complex storylines. Bare minimum representations of what you're trying to express through graphics. Maybe some sound effects, maybe some music. But it gets the job done. It's a simple tool express your concept. And I think now that time has gone on, video games, like a lot of people that are celebrated in our industry are high concept thinkers, but they don't know how to boil down their ideas to be digestible in the most distilled way possible for gamers to understand. And I think design by subtraction is the ticket to that. Like, instead of making everything a convoluted RPG that's open world and you have to collect 1,000 things and do all these subquests and stuff like that, like, taking things back to the basics is refreshing. I don't know why, but Vampire Survivors might have been my GOTY of 2022 because I did not have to invest myself so much into learning everyone's names, learning what the story was. Like, there is a story there if you read the character descriptions, but who the fuck did that? No one. No one I knew who played that game read the story or even knew there was a story. They just wanted to know, how do I get next character? How do I unlock next level? And that in itself is the core framework of video games. And I feel a lot of games nowadays try and reach a AAA standard on a I don't know, a shoestring budget, like The Good Life, Deadly Premonition 2, No More Your Heroes 3, my prime examples there. They tried to make the most out of a shoestring budget, but did not reach the heights they could have had they had, like, focused the concepts and boiled down the experience to just the best parts. You know what I'm saying? Just the climax, just the YouTube shorts. Give me the dopamine hit and let me walk away so I can get the next dopamine hit. There is something to respect about that. And Ueda's games in itself stand the test of time. Like, you can play Shadow of the Colossus today and appreciate it because all you have to learn is how to climb and kill that first Colossus. And it just builds off of that one framework. You learn that tool. You have all the tools you need at the beginning of the game. And then you just learn with what you start with, what you rode in to town on your horse with, you know? That's what you got. And that's what Ginormo Sword is all about too. You know, you may lengthen your sword, okay? It may get a little bit bigger over time. Gets bigger when I pull on it. It may get bigger over time, but the concept still remains. And speaking of, we're gonna lengthen our Ginormo Sword. Okay? All about the length. All about the length. We're getting so close. We're about an inch away from touching that box. But yeah, thanks for your thoughtful super chat, Ferris. I think about that a lot. Every time, like, that's why I like the Simple series so much, is like they are distilled games into their core concept. They don't have the budget to tell a grandiose story. They don't have the money to improve the graphics or fix all the glitches, but you can beat it. It's beginning to end. They came up with one really good idea, like Earth Defense Force. One really good idea. Give people giant bugs that you can take your arsenal of weapons and blow them up into smithereens, and we're going to do that for about 12 games so far. And it's worked out well for them. Keep things simple. And that can be, like, you know, boiled down to all things in life. On the average, people, I don't know if they have shorter attention spans just in general, but the longer you go into something, into a discussion, into explaining your ideas, the more you risk people checking out. It's hard. It's real tough out there as a content creator, as somebody who makes commentary, as a video game developer. If you can't lead out of the gate with your concept that's easily understood, people... Okay, there's another example I have to go back to this simple concept. I was researching for extermination, and when I do that, I go to like the Wayback Machine. I go to archive.org, and I look for old video game magazines to see what the buzz was at the time. Like, how did people receive this during the time, like when it should be most received, like back when this was the cutting edge, back when extermination was the hottest new thing on the PS2. And in doing so, in this magazine, it was Edge magazine, which is I believe it was a British magazine. Even magazines are kind of antiquated now that you think about it. But the reviewer for Illbleed's like one of my all-time favorite games, if you couldn't tell. I reference it a lot. The reviewer of Illbleed, which was like this dude who created it, it was his last game before he died suddenly of a heart attack. It's really tragic. But it was his swan song. Like, Illbleed, he took everything he learned from Blue Stinger and he fixed it up, spruced it up, and made like the most glorious game of Minesweeper and a haunted house and comedy that has ever been done, I feel. I feel it's like one of the funniest games ever made, and it was mocking the very system and mascot of the system. Like, there's nothing that's ever come out like it since. And the reviewer in Edge didn't make it past the first level. Didn't. There's 8 levels in Illbleed, but each one of them gets better and better and better. Like, it really does peak near the end of the game. It gets so insane. And if you've seen my Illbleed video, you'll know what I'm talking about, or if you've played through Illbleed, I don't want to spoil it because it's just a fantastic finale. But he graded it a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10 for Illbleed. He said, and that's because he said he enjoyed the first level, but he didn't learn the combat. He didn't learn how to dodge. You can dodge past every, and the iframes are ridiculous in Illbleed, by the way. You can dodge every big boss's like major things if you just hit the B button. So he didn't learn to dodge. Gave it a 6 out of 10. Said, yeah, it's a real funny game and all that, but I'm sure players will get bored of it by the end. A complete misfire of a review. Shameful. And the creator of Illbleed died like a few years later after that review. Probably because of that review. He imported Edge magazine, read that one-page hit piece, and then just died on the spot. He killed, I think it was Shinya Nishigaki. He killed Shinya Nishigaki. RIP. So, Illbleed never found its audience until like 20 years later. That's the true sign of a cult classic. It's just like horror, just like B-movie horror. Sometimes it doesn't find its audience during the time of it, when it should, essentially, during its release. Doesn't find success, doesn't find its audience. And that's because, like, the curators out there, I guess I'm speaking as one myself, but the curators out there aren't doing their due diligence. They aren't learning their games, and that has to do a lot with they got deadlines, like I got to put out this review, it's due by the end of the month, or it's due in 4 days, so I got to try and beat this game. And sometimes that's just not enough time to learn the concept. So if you aren't dumbing your shit down for the lowest common denominator, if you aren't explaining the premise, explaining the joke up front, you've lost your audience. You've set yourself up for failure. And the only people that will stick around in the end are the ones that are saying, man, this is so underrated. Your channel's just so underrated, bro. I don't understand. Most underrated content creator. Your videos are great. Your games are great, bro. It deserves so much. But I'm not going to shell out any money for this. Sorry. I pirated this. I pirated this like 15 years after you died. After you've been long buried. Your widow couldn't afford to bury you. So, it's a real great game. Some little channel out there is going to make a video on it talking about, gushing praises, but you're already dead. You died of a heart attack in obscurity, and it's just a reflection of your work in general. You just died a bum. You just died a fucking bum because this Brit over in Edge magazine couldn't be bothered. I just can't be bothered, mate. I can't be bothered to learn the controls, mate. What you expect of players? What you expect of players in the year 2000? I couldn't read the fucking manual. I'm sorry, mate. You're just gonna have to die in obscurity on the streets. Working on Drakengard. Working on fucking Drakengard. Going from Blue Stinger. By the way, if you didn't know this little history lesson, Blue Stinger was one of the most financially successful games on the Dreamcast. There weren't many, but Blue Stinger, because it launched before the Dreamcast, by the very virtue of beating the Dreamcast launch by a week, it sold so many copies. Now, the North American version's trash, admittedly, but it was greenlit for a sequel. And, like, they were in the development, like, they had developed Illbleed, and the guys who were making Illbleed were depending on the money from Sega to help finish the game. And then Sega's like, oh, fuck, Shenmue happened. And they were running out of money. And because of that, like, they had to find, I think Jalico ended up finishing up the financing and publishing of Illbleed. They had to cancel Blue Stinger 2. Like, they were really depending on that money. And Crazy Games just had to shut down. They had to just fucking shut down and die in shame. It's sad. One of my favorite games of all time just has the most tragic fucking history out there. But you can learn more about it if you watch my Illbleed video. I end up, like, screaming. I'm screaming by the end of that video because I'm just so pissed about what happened with that game. It's just totally unfair. Hyde, what went wrong with the Blue Stinger North American release? I included all my observations. I compare them both in my Blue Stinger video. You got to go watch that. I'll fill you in on that. That Edge review of Illbleed could have saved the Dreamcast. I guarantee there are people out there living today that would have loved Illbleed back then. And I think it would have found more success than Blue Stinger had it, if people were aware of it. But Sega really did it no favors. Like, you see that happening a lot with first-party or third-party produced Nintendo published titles, where Nintendo will, like, give them money but do nothing to promote it. Sony does it too, like with Gravity Rush. Gravity Rush should honestly be one of their biggest franchises ever. It should be up there. Like, Sony does nothing with their legacy IP at all. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame what happened to Ape Escape. It was murdered by Sony. Parappa the Rapper, last night I was at Kirk's house, and we were watching Game Center CX. Shout out to the Kacho-wan. And we were watching the Parappa the Rapper episode, and I was sitting there just thinking to myself, I'm like, hip-hop is, like, super popular nowadays. SoundCloud rappers, like, there's a Parappa 3 ready to be made. Like, Parappa tries to start a SoundCloud or become a trap rapper or something like that. Something like, there's a lot of new music genres out there that Parappa could cover. And I'm sure the guy, what's his name, Dread Fox, the guy who was Parappa's just, like, sitting there waiting in his one-bedroom apartment, waiting for the fucking... Like, the royalty checks are drying up on Parappa Remaster on PS4, waiting for new work. Was really counting on Project Rap Rabbit to come out. Never happened. But that's a franchise that probably wouldn't... You could spend like a couple $1 million. $3 million. How much do you think Parappa the Rapper really costs to develop? You could probably hire some fucking 2D animators that have a handle on Blender that could make little scenes for Parappa the Rapper, and I'm sure Dread Fox will work on commission. you know, write you some bars, and then boom, we could have a Parappa 3, but Sony sisters, it's been over for a while. I've been black-pilled on Sony for a long time, but it's because, like, they don't treat any of their legacy IP with respect at all. You're just getting God of War and Horizon and Last of Us from here on out. Do you know where the director of Illbleed is buried? I want to leave my money for my emulated copy. No, I don't. I'd like to visit the grave of, Kenji Ino or something. See if anyone left him boxes of condoms. Writer with the scarf says, Hikiko, your rant's basically like most games that got a release in the US and barely got released on EU just because they got bad reviews first over there. Yeah, I had this talk with my friend. I have a friend who's an author, and they self-publish because it's hard to find a publisher. Writing novels is just like a market that's, you want to talk about saturated. Think about how long Stephen King has been putting out novels that are ghostwritten by someone else. There's been this thing like where Stephen King will put out books, but they're ghostwritten by someone else. And they just put his name over it. Because that's how saturated the horror novel market has become, or the mystery novel market has become. It's like you have to tie your name. If you want your book to sell, you want your ideas to sell, just put Stephen King's name over the top of it. Because nobody wants to bother to find new authors and stuff like that. And they're like, what can we do about this? Like, what is the solution going forward as an author to get discovered? I'm like, that's the same thing that's happening in video games and in the movies and in music. We have this thing in the medium where it's so easy to produce content. You can produce trash content all day long, and it just floods the market with trash content that you have to have curators in place. You have to have people that sift through the garbage to find the nuggets of gold, if you will. And that's where discoverability is. Like, the algorithms don't do you any favors most of the time. Like, you have to have a big publishing house behind you. You got to have big money interests. You got to buy the bots. But the bots are being scaled back from what I know. Like, Twitter has been actively reducing bots. So, like, you'll see influence of some of these, like, big reply guys and what have you on Twitter just losing their influence overnight. They're getting their bots taken away from them. So, something's got to be done about the bots. I don't know what you can do about the saturation. I guess the best way to handle oversaturation is make people pay to use the platform. If you made people pay to upload videos to YouTube, they would be only leading with their quality content, I feel. Like, they would be leading with shit that they knew people would watch or stuff they'd care about, and you wouldn't have these, like, thousands and thousands of videos per minute. And it would also help YouTube servers. You know, I wouldn't mind paying YouTube to use their platform a bit. I thought about doing YouTube Premium just for the music aspect of it, but if you started charging people to pay to use their services, I think Twitter's trying that out with Twitter Blue. If you want the check mark, that doesn't bother me at all. I'm thinking about doing it. I don't know if it'll have any significant impact with my reach, but I've been using the platform for like 12 years or so, 15 years. I don't know. That I don't mind kicking a little money towards it. I don't understand the I guess the entitlement angle of like I should just get shit for free all the time. No, I should live in fear that the thing that I utilize every day can go bankrupt. I'm not a fan of Elon Musk or whatever, but I do think there's a rational argument to make that a business needs to make some money. And if they'll reward people that will invest in the company in some tangible way, like if I see that I get my shit gets out there, I can upload longer videos, I get less ads. It sounds like a fair trade. I think I've been using it for years. I think I should kick in a little money. But that's my pragmatic point of view. I don't have any emotions about it. There's some people that get so emotional about Twitter, like, oh, can you believe what they're doing today to it? Oh, they're fucking it up. You know, it's been shitty for a long time, and there are a ton of bot accounts on there. It feels lonely. They call it. There's a theory called the dead internet, that eventually, people will get discouraged from posting original content or replying to things because they know how vicious people can be, or they just don't want to engage. There's a lot of passive users. In a lot of places you explore, even on YouTube, there's just a ton more passive users than there are active commenters and things like that. And what's left are bots. And there's this theory that we're like spiraling towards, maybe we're here. Maybe we're already at the dead internet. Like I discussed this in one of my streams, but there's straight up bots that can scrape Reddit posts, like popular Reddit uploads, do voice modulation, like a voice synthesis based on those, and create full-on videos. Like that is where we're at, like full-on dead internet. So it's a bit lonely and scary to think about that. I don't know how you fix that other than like figuring out a way to block the bots. That's a big problem. We're all bots, Hikiko. Yeah, some of you are. Some of you are in this very chat. Wait. Big Frog, the low tax method. What did low tax do? Rest in peace. I met low tax. I didn't like formally meet him, but low tax lived in my same state. Like he lived pretty close by, so I'd see him occasionally. I only saw him like a couple of times, but he was kind of the dude that just like never left his house. So it was kind of the sighting of a rare animal, if you will. We're almost there, bros. Our Ginormo Sword is almost touching. I can only get one more. But look, we're getting there. We're almost up at this box. That's the goal. We're going to increase the length and get it up there. The low tax method for something awful. Big Frog. See, Big Frog knows what's up. Big Frog knows the lore. I didn't use something... Like, I read Something Awful's threads back in the day. Like their video game recommendation threads. I think that's like where I found out about Deadly Premonition way back in the day. They had a really good article about Deadly Premonition. I think Lotax might have put it out himself. I'm not sure. But a lot of big YouTubers and big names on the internet started off on Something Awful. I was more of a 4chan guy, still am. I kind of was against paying to use a forum, but I wasn't against it per se. It's just I didn't want to pay it because I would never post there. Like, I'm a lurker by nature. I don't actively post in places that can be traced back to me. I was always afraid of that shit. What they say is the Overton window is always sliding. So whatever I would have said on the forum would have got me in trouble, I'm sure. So I'm just glad I didn't have any sort of record like that. The places I posted were always anonymous, where you were judged solely by your words and not by trying to have a name, a little internet e-presence, if you will. Those are the forums I still go to, just like anonymous image boards, essentially. But yeah, Something Awful had its time and place. It was quite significant in forming internet meme culture as we know it. But it really spiraled out of control in the more like recent decade. I think it's entirely dead now. I can't even think of anyone that posts there. I mean, it's like that. What I was saying before is like Gen X people, older internet users tend to just stick to their comfort zones, and probably the OGs are still hanging out there. But God forbid, like I can't imagine what they're talking about. Reddit has pretty much supplanted the usefulness of something awful and it's free. So I really don't know. Everything, all like these big audiences, all these big like subcultures have just spun off into like little echo chambers on Reddit. There's really not too many cohesive communities like something awful provided, like where no matter what you were into, you were all united under the banner of something awful. You had a particular brand of humor and weirdness and about you to go there. But rest in peace, Lotax. Rest in peace. I used to watch Lotax's YouTube channel. He had a little stream called Gaming Garbage. And I think he did what Jim Sterling is doing now. Like, Lotax would pick out Steam, like the bottom barrel Steam games, and what have you, and would play those and make loud noises and eat hot dogs. He had his own little niche community over there, but I would love... I don't know if there is one, but if that, you know that content creator... What's his name? Frederick Knudsen, the down the rabbit hole guy. If he was going to pick a topic, I think Lotax would be a really interesting person. Because he was one, I would call him like one of the pioneers of meme culture or old internet, if you will. Noel from Kiwi Farms has a little podcast called Mad at the Internet, and he talked a lot about Lotax because he knew Lotax personally. So he had a little bit of a retrospective on Lotax, but I would love to see that. There was a documentary, too, about Lotax, like, back in the heyday of Something Awful. There was a fan meetup and a lot of interesting personalities and stuff like that. But I loved following their YouTube channel. Lotax and I think Fragmaster's his name. Fragmaster was his best friend, and they made some movies together like Doom House. If you want a really good early YouTube video, go Google Doom House, and then watch its sequel, Mood House. It's also pretty good. But that stuff was great. Big Frog, you watch Gaming Garbage as well? Yeah, I was in chat sometimes. Bedhead Bernie did a good doc on Lotax. I've never heard of Bedhead Bernie. Are they decent? Noel had a few run-ins with him. He'd do a person stream better. I think he did one. I recall watching something on Lotax, but Lotax had a rough couple of final years. I don't know what to make of it, but it was going down. Like him and I think his ex-wife or something had a real big blowout, and he had one final blowout too right afterwards. Okay, we're almost there. You can see where we started. Where we started and how it's going. Yeah, our katana's quite a respectable size here. But you can also click these and balance them out, so you can like respec it. So that's like a 50-50 spec. You can reset it to the beginning, or you could just do max length. But yeah, we did the 50. Maybe I should reset and do max length. Okay, there we go. But yeah, you can do a 50-50 build if you want to. I think it hits for double. Cool peony you have there, says Diego. Yes, that is my favorite weapon in No More Heroes. Now we're just cutting through them like it's nothing. I'm trying to get my character leveled up enough so he can take a little damage from the boss here. This boss one-shotted me, the devil. Maybe I can dodge him. It's hard to control the character. Where you see my mouse pointer is where they move. But so far it's going okay. Oh! All right. Oh! We got him! We killed the devil. We killed the devil, everyone. We killed the devil, everyone. There we go. Shit. Thumbs up for killing the devil. Now we can go to the next area. We're moving right along, guys. Right here. This is Ginormo Sword. What's the official Hikiko silver coin dropping? I'm sticking out of the market. All markets in general. The markets are doomed. They're doomed for 2023. Hey, we got some magic here. I can cast a spell. So this is like, yeah, this is in-game right here. Once you start getting these spells, I love how they spelled that. Like just a little MS Paint, couldn't be bothered. Magic. There's a wizard. I built a wizard with 2 frames of animation. What more do you want from me? Couldn't be bothered. I think I need magic to kill these clouds. Yeah. Can you see the appeal of this game? Can you see why I enjoy it so much? Length for the win. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. You ever play that Cat Village Simple Series game? There's a Cat Village game? Big Frog? No. What's the name of it? I'm all about that. That sounds interesting as fuck. The thing is, I'm also trying to avoid the edge of the screen because if I do, I zone out. So it encourages you to kind of get into the skirmish. Oh, but yeah, I'm getting attacked. I gotta find a better spot. We may do some more grinding here. We got some golems. Easy game, easy life. Ever think of playing Mystic Survivors or Soulstone Survivors? Is that related to Vampire Survivors? If it is, I'll check it out. Never heard of them. The Nekumara no Hitobito. It's Japanese only, though. Okay. The Nekumara... What volume is that, Big Frog? Do you happen to know? I'll check that out for sure. It's been, I think, a year, maybe 2 years since I put out a simple series. I think the last one was The Overwhelming Hell. Everything about my channel, like analytics-wise, is telling me just to stick to system videos. Just become a low-rent game sack is what my channel's telling me. Just become a low-rent game sack, and you'll find success. So that's what I'm considering is another system video. The 7th generation seems to be the most successful shit, so I may do another one of those fairly early on. But I want to talk about some new games as well. There's like the Dead Space remake, Silent Hill 2 remake, Resident Evil 4 remake, the year of the remake. Yeah, GameSack is like one of the only channels I consistently watch. I'll watch them every Sunday that they upload. It's one of the only channels I just enjoy all the time, every time. So if you want to know who I watch, it's GameSack. I met Joe and Dave like one time at a video game convention. They were nice people. I had a GameSack shirt that I wore for maybe 5 years, but it became so holy and destroyed that I could no longer wear it. And it's sad. It was a soft, nice, high-quality shirt. It was a black GameSack shirt. You may have seen it in a couple of my videos. But I really enjoyed that shirt. I may have to order another one. I think I support GameSack on Patreon. I support My Life in Gaming and GameSack, and I think that's it. my friends who have YouTube channels, I support them, and those two channels. That's about it. But their production values are so good that I feel I'm getting my money's worth. Like they are really putting in the time. Oh, I support the Cinema Snob as well, Brad Jones. I've been watching him for a very long time. I've interacted with him a couple of times, and he's always been very nice and funny. Brad Jones is... I can't say I model myself after him, but I just love his spirit. He's just been hanging through all, like, high times, low times. If it's one person that I can always count on to have a video out, it's Brad, so... And he's pretty much stuck with the same style over the years. The old YouTube style. Kind of low production costs, but it's all about the commentary and the ongoing jokes and things like that. Really good dude. Do you support Spoonie? Sometimes. Everyone asks me about Spoonie. I like Spoonie's old stuff. He's got some videos that hold up, for sure. He was supposed to have a resurgence. Maybe he's still working on that comeback. But, oh, we made it! We're right here. We're kissing the tip of that box right there. Okay? All right. Should I continue on with length? Should I just have it until we get to the top of the screen? I don't know what to do. Oh, 1 in chat if we should continue with length. 2 in chat if we should go for the width. Get that girth in. 1 in chat for length. 2 in chat for width.
Okay, throw me some numbers.
Throw me some numbers, chat. I'm gonna have some popcorn while I wait. Come on.
Okay, throw me some numbers.
Fill us up with numbers. I'm seeing kind of a 50-50 split. Nah, more ones. Ones seem to have ones, twos. We've reached Murasame levels. Now we go for Buster Dragon Slayer numbers. I'm a real cocaine of a man, says J-Spot. I'm looking at all the accounts in here just because we got some people stuffing the ballot boxes over here. Not to get into American politics, but we got some true Americans in here stuffing the ballot boxes. Ones have it. Length Bros. We're going to continue on with our length quest. I think if I grind this, these little fights over here, because now I got magic on my side, we can clean up real quick. Let's see how Satan fares. This fight. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What a pushover. Look at all that gold, too. Yeah, we made an easy 10K. We'll just grind Satan a few times to see how that goes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking Magic Bros, Length Bros. This is the golden strat. By the way, this is free. If you just type Ginormo Sword, like in the video title, you can just play this. I think it does save your cookies, so like if you want to continue on, it'll save your file. Just don't delete your browser cache, I guess. I don't know how this is working. This is a Flash game in an HTML5 world, so maybe there's some converter out there. I don't even know. They're probably stealing all my data. There's rootkits and everything. I'm doing this for you though. So don't say I didn't ever do anything for you. Oh, but he still one-hit killed me. Okay, so we can't get too close, but put on that pressure. Length Bros, we're gonna fill that whole screen. It's gonna be a real respectable size. I thought you were using Flashpoint, the Flash emulator. I didn't know about that, but I'll have to look into that. I'd like to do a video on Flash games. Like, I guess all Flash games are now obscure by virtue of Flash being removed, but I was all about Flash games growing up. When you're poor white trash like your boy Hikiko here, you make do with some Flash games. All right, Length Bros. Look at that. We're under the box. We're passing under the box. Walking into the club like we're king shit here. All right. Thank you, BioPhoenix, for blocking the porn bots. I appreciate that. I saw you with the quickness. That's the quickest a porn bot has ever been blocked on YouTube. Top mods. Only the top Jannies here. Link can't be stopped. Okay, I'm going to do another round of this till we hit 100K. Oh! Till we hit 100K. I'm glad we don't have to go back and collect our gold. It just keeps all your gold if you die. There's real no penalty for dying. Like that. One of the best survival horrors ever made was a Flash game. There's a couple of really good survival horror games on there. But the funniest one is Don't Shit Your Pants. And it's billed as a survival horror game. And it's exactly what's on the tin. It's exactly what's on the tin. I think the guys at Red Letter Media actually played that for their previously recorded channel, but that's a good one. But there was this one that I played a ton as a kid. It was called The Last Stand. Anyone remember that? It was a post-apocalyptic zombie survival horror, but it was 2D, and you fought things in waves, and you gathered. It was a bit like the Oregon Trail. You gathered supplies, you found other survivors, you got new weapons and things, and tried to survive mobs. And those were some of my absolute favorite. Like, that's what I never understood about Flash games. Like, dude, just like Dwarf Fortress, like, why did it take you so long to monetize this? I feel with some touch up, The Last Stand could have been sold as a game on Steam or something. People would have paid good money for that. Bradley knows what's up. The Last Stand. Did it turn into pay to win musicology? I don't know about that, but it was on Congregate for the longest time. I used to play. I always liked those wave games. Here we go, boys. Link Chads right here. We're about to touch this box. We're getting so close. We're going to get to that white box. Hold on. It's getting hot in my office. I got to turn off my heater. Anyone tuning into this stream's like, what the fuck is Hikiko playing? This is what passes for content in 2023? You damn right it does. Friendly reminder. All my Ginormo bros. Where's my stinger? Hold on. My stinger isn't showing up. Dude, my stinger ain't showing up. Hold on. There it is. Friendly reminder to all my Ginormo bros over here. Thank you. Please and thank you. Boost those numbers up. We're at 38 likes. Let's get it up to 40. Come on. Sign into your sock accounts. Boost it. 41 likes. There it is. I had to refresh. Thank you so much. Now we're just cleaning house. Wizard Bros, can you even compete? Can you even compete with this length? Wizard Bros? Gollum Chads? I'm sorry. Look at this, is doing no damage to this dude. All natty, I promise. Yesterday, I watched this documentary put out by Beige Frequency about the Liver King. Did you guys ever hear about the Liver King? I found out about the Liver King just because of the memes. Like, he would just be popping up, and it was like one of those guys, like those fitness gurus that claim to be all natty and would do like holistic ball tanning. He would like just suntan. He would lift his anus up into the air and suntan his balls, and he was receiving Mother Nature's strength or something, like fucking Goku or something, like calling on a spirit bomb into his anus. That was fascinating. I really like Porcelain and Beige Frequency. They put out some good docs on interesting characters. I go to the gym, so I'm really into learning about the lore of Gym Bros. So I watched his documentary on Big Lenny, which is also quite a character. Like, this dude is all taking black market supplements and tanning his skin till it looks unhealthy. He's got jaundice of the eyes. He snots all the time. Nasty hoarder house. All the things I love in a good story. Yeah, we're sweeping with our Ginormo Sword. We're taking out all these clouds. Gas clouds. They're only affected by the magic, though. I think the Satan strat is the only one that seems to be working. Maybe these guys. But they got fireballs. They're bad hombres. Oh, okay. Yeah, they got a lot of gold on them. Not as much as a Satan. But if I... Oh! Okay. They're not one-hit kills, but they do some decent damage. Okay. We got this mid-boss here. This gargoyle. Almost there. Almost there. He's like an actual boss. Yeah, some decent gold there. We've unlocked the boss. I may need to level up the actual character. So when you level up, I think it levels up your HP and your defense. But we can go check our stats. We need to go back to the home base and check our stats here. So we got 6 strength, 1 vitality, 1 intelligence, 1 luck. What does leveling up do? Is it just strength? Is that what it does? How do I get my vitality and intelligence up? I'm sure I will unlock some more of those. I have emeralds. That's for crafting, I believe. This is a pretty long game, if you couldn't tell. What's the name of that Snot Gains guy? I want to see that documentary. It's called What is Big Lenny? What is Big Lenny? Katsuhito the Emperor. What is Big Lenny? It's a good doc. By Beige Frequency. Yeah, I watch Porcelain, Beige Frequency, Frederick Knudsen, for those like little weird documentaries on one subject kind of thing. That's about it. I think there aren't too many people that cover the interesting shit I'm into, I guess, or the weird characters I'm into. Yeah, it is quite the lengthy game, Bradley. But I'm enjoying it. Trip down memory lane. I just want to see what's in store past this boss, and then I'll make a determination to continue on the stream or not. 47 likes. This is amazing. Thank you, guys. I'm glad you've enjoyed it so far. Yeah, feel free to AMA. We can talk about the new year. What you want to see from old Hikiko. I don't even know what to do. I have some ideas of what I want to do. But when I make a video, I have to consider a lot of different things. Like, how did my last video do? Oh, it did shit because YouTube didn't push it? What can I do to get people to watch? I thought it would do okay. I mean, swear he tweeted it out. Some other big YouTubers tweeted it out. It was shared with the Deadly Premonition group. So I just don't know what happened, guys. I just don't know what happened. So I don't want to do one of those like major course corrections, though. You see that every year. People get nostalgic or what have you, or not nostalgic. They get introspective is the word I'm looking for. They get introspective and they're like, it's time to completely rebrand the channel and do something entirely opposite of what I'm doing now. But I've done that in the past, and I just don't think it works out. Like, I think there are some things that I do that are just far more successful than others. So I should continue on with those things that are finding success. And then think about like new channel ideas or new content ideas that I can include within the regularly scheduled programming. See you later, Master Chief. A multi-hour analysis of Ginormo Sword. You're watching it right here live. That I never understood, though. Like, people like long-form content enough, or they like passive content, right? And what is more passive than a stream? To have a stream going on in the background. But YouTube, once again, kind of, unless you have, like, a really, really huge podcast channel or something like that, they don't do jack shit to promote the streams. And that's kind of at odds with what I think would be successful. I mean, like, they did include a new tab. If you go on to the main channels of your favorite content creators, you go on there, there's now a live stream tab, so you can filter out the live streams if you don't want to watch them, which is nice, because I've always been putting them in the cool stream playlist, because I didn't want to flood my channel with all my streams. But it's quite punishing, too. They measure your stream and like the amount of watch time people watched on it, and they consider that to be a success or a failure based on if anyone clicked on your stream and didn't watch it all the way. I don't know. It's kind of like, what? Why do you even have streaming if it does nothing but hurt your creators? I love streaming. If I could stream all day, every day, I would probably do it, but that's not what people are here for. It's a fun little thing to do in between our regularly scheduled programming, but not everyone on YouTube... I would say the majority of people on YouTube don't stream at all. It's only like those very particular podcasts or whatever you see video casts going up. But a lot of shit like that can go south fast too if you have stuff like TTS on. I have nightmares about having TTS. You guys ever watch some of those IRL streamers that go out there with those fucking Bluetooth speakers and they have TTS on? And all of a sudden you hear the DuckTales theme, and then just like the look of terror hits their face, and they start running, or they try like fumbling through their phone to turn it off. That's my nightmare. Can I do dual wield? I don't know. I haven't really made it terribly far into Ginormo Sword, but maybe we'll find out. This dude is only weak against magic, so I have to wait till he hits the intersection of my spell. Your musicology's like, I was about to type DuckTales. I watched some short about that, I know. Or it was posted on something there was like a recap of live stream fails or something like that, wherever this dude was painting his living room and his girlfriend was just reading chat, and then he got a TTS, and then like he's sitting there with that paint roller, you know, like way the fuck far away from his keyboard to do anything about it, and all of a sudden he hears boom ding boom ding boom ding doo, and you just hear him go no, and then it just cuts. Now that is a classic right there. Perfectly well edited cuts or what have you. Oh, that one was great. Okay, let's see if the blacksmith has any other swords for sale or something, or maybe I could just level up my guy. I guess we could dump in money into leveling up strength. Not help. BioPhoenix knows what's up. Yeah, if you're ever live streaming and you hear the DuckTales theme, you better shut it down. You don't wait for it to even get to the first verse. Oh, Big Frog, that was probably the first time that happened. There's been multiple ones like that wherever somebody TTS's a bomb threat. I think the most, I don't know. You see that happening all the time. That is messed up. That's a bridge too far, I think. Oh my god. Okay, so we gotta... I don't know, we can't boost up our magic, can we? We've got a whole magic fight here, so... we're gonna play this like a bullet hell. That's all I can do at the moment is play this like a bullet hell and just hope to God my magic hits. It's going well so far. It's going well, because, like, the sword does not work on the clouds. Oh! Right there! Right there! I had him on the ropes. But it's hitting for more damage. But he's closing the gap, so it's going to be tough. Oh, and he can aim at all directions. We're just going to keep at it. Oh! The problem is, your guy has perpetual momentum, so he's always going in the direction. Like, if you cross the x-axis, your guy will start flying in that direction. So I have to, like, constantly course correct to prevent him from flying off the screen. Okay, that's a little too close. So what we're going to do is wait till he gets on the edge of the screen or something, and then spam him with magic. But I think we got this. I think we got this. I just got to come at it from a different direction. Oh! Sometimes my magic's just not hitting for anything. And it's one-hit kills with the cloud guy. But I had him on the ropes on that one round. Magic Chads, where are you? We did it! We did it! Yeah, that was a tough one. F's in chat for the cloud. Okay, we've unlocked a new part of the map. Breezing right through. We're at 47 likes. 47 likes. I don't think so. I'm firing it back up. Come on, hard drive, turn around. Crank it. Come on, hard drive. Catch up. We'll try it again. Guys, our little video clip has failed us. I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. It'll show up. Leave that like, please and thank you. Let's get it up to 50 likes. Can we do 50 likes? I'm going to try it one more time. I don't know what's going on with it. It's not pulling my leave that like thing, but please leave that. We're at 49 likes. So close. So close.
Okay, throw me some numbers.
Throw me some numbers. Let's get up there. 50 likes. Appreciate it. We got a disco floor. I apologize to my epileptic bros out there. Look at this. Okay, so we got... Whoa! We got, like, shield casters. We got armor now. It's become an entirely different game. See, where was Ferris in here? Ferris, remember how we were talking about simple game design? Right here. Look at it just build upon itself now. We got Coin of Bravery. Makes you unable to escape from battle. That's actually good. So I'm not flying off the thing. I might actually buy that. Yeah, let's get that. Buckler Shield. Neutralizes counter damage. Gives you extra speed on the map screen. That's funny. And extends attacking time. I might save up for that. And we got some armors. Different... But they have, like, no resistances. Like, what's the point of that? Oh, boy. We got a claymore. Do you want to curve your sword? Mine's a little bent. My Ginormo Sword is a little bent, boys. My duck's a little bent. Zweihander. Should we save up for any of these? The claymore, the scimitar, or the Zweihander? See, I told you this game gets wild. I might save up for the scimitar. But I do like... We got the coin of no escape, so now I can actually go through the levels without worrying about flying off the screen. Oh, the wizard! Oh my god, what is this wizard? Fire protection. Enchant with fire. And then we can enchant. Can we just enchant with light? Need a diamond. So we got some diamond build here. Yeah, let's just enchant it. We're rock hard. We're all diamonds. We're all diamonds, bros. Okay, well. And then I guess dark protection? Sure. The game is getting deep. It's getting too complex for a stream, you know. This is not what I thought it was going to be. Just tearing through. Yeah. Oh, I got hit, but we're doing a lot of damage. Maybe getting a scimitar or something like that will help us out, or at least widening our katana. We must widen the katana. But this is what I was talking about. Now I have a better chance of dodging projectiles because I don't have to worry about flying off the screen. That's so much better. Okay. Well, let's look around. There's another monster den around here somewhere. Doot, 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 doot. Because that's the Enchanter Magic Academy. Oh. Oh. Lighthouse. It's got to be around here somewhere. That's another part of this game is you got to find the next monster den. Theater. Something's happening. Let's go back and grind a little bit. See if this cloud battle goes. Yeah, it's going a little bit faster. Oh, okay. Yeah, 66k. Not too bad. Not the numbers I was looking for, but... Oh, the light damage, the diamond damage, is tearing through these gargoyles. They were a bit tanky before. Not too bad, 70. A game like this on the NES would be sick. I think it's possible. I don't see anything overly complex about the engine here. Now, maybe later in the game when you've built your sword, it would probably exceed the sprite limitations of the system, but there's ways around that. If you introduce flickering... Atari 5200 levels of complex. I would say the best Atari 5200 game by far is Ninja Golf. I played that on David's channel many moons ago. It's like a 2D action golf game where you're a ninja and you fight dragons with shurikens and evil gophers and things of that nature. Come on, Death Cloud, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up here. Oh my god. All right, we're at 90K. Once we get to 100K, we'll figure out what to do next, because there's a lot of things we can enhance. We can buy that gauntlet. Seems pretty good. Oh, look how fast the Minotaur goes down. That's going to be our ticket here. Just easy money. Let's do it a few more times. Easy money. Just steamrolling. So you get 20K per... That can't be right. Maybe he just has a random chance of dropping more money, but we got 20K from that? Insanity. All right, let's go for 200K. Why stop now? BioPhoenix, you played Ninja Golf? No, that's what I'm talking about. Bio, you would be able to... I think you're the kind of person who would play that. BioPhoenix has covered the most obscure games on the planet. You should check out his channel. Like, any game that you can think of, like, oh, this is a game that I feel like me and my friends were the only ones in the world who played. No, BioPhoenix already has a video on it. He's reviewed it. It's on there. He has a really good video on Overblood. Who the creator of Dark Cloud, he made that game. And it's really funny. His video is really funny. Go check it out. Bradley, I saw a Mega 64 podcast clip with Derek talking about David pantsing a guy. You saw that? Bradley? How did you know it was the same David? How did you know? It's true. David did do that. David exposed somebody's tallywhacker in the middle of a convention. I'm not making it up. Yeah. Hey, $5 super chat from Ferris Nagatomi. Thank you so much, Ferris. Appreciate you. Miles, can you think of any legit good film tie-in video games? The two for me are The Warriors by Rockstar and King Kong by the Rayman creator. You mean King Kong, the 360 and Xbox King Kong? Yeah, that's a decent one. There's a lot. I could say The Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay. Geez, there was one that I was talking about the other day. The Evil Dead games, Regeneration, and the brand new Evil Dead multiplayer game. Phenomenal. Okay. Length chads. I'm sorry. I gotta go length. I gotta go length. The Friday the 13th game is probably my favorite out of the bunch, but that's only because I played it for 2 years straight. And I think it's because they pay a lot of homage and respect to the entire series, with the exception of Jason X, because there was the rights issues in Limbo, and they couldn't make good on the promise of the Grindel in Uber Jason. But yeah, The Warriors is a solid choice for sure. I enjoyed that. It's like a more dark and gritty version of Bully. So if you enjoyed Bully, you'd like The Warriors. But Friday the 13th would probably be my pick. It's fun if you can find a lobby that doesn't cheat. So if you want to play a lobby that doesn't cheat, then you're going to probably want to play it on the Xbox or the PlayStation 4. So yeah, if you're interested, if you even have like the slightest interest in Friday the 13th, you'll find something to love in it. It's a really well-balanced game. Each of the camp counselors has their own perks and contributions for the group itself. Jason's super OP. There's, I think, 9 different variants of Jason you can play as. And then maybe 8, because you can't play as Pamela Voorhees or what have you, but It's got the official soundtrack. It has Tom Matthews coming back as Tommy Jarvis. There's lore in it too, so if you want to know about Friday the 13th, they created like Pamela Voorhees tapes where you like these audio logs where they added a single player mode. It's really phenomenal work. And the same group that's making that is making the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game coming out. Also, another group that was associated with them made this fucking awful Predator game. Please don't play that. Hey, we got the wide shot. Hell yeah. Now we're playing Contra. Don't play the Predator game. It sucks. Hunting Grounds, I think it was called. It's awful. But the Evil Dead game's great. Friday the 13th game, great. Hey, Glaveson, yo, how are you doing? Happy New Year. X-Men Origins, I remember being fun. The Wolverine one. That's as far as recent licensed games go. I mean, how far back do you want to go? How far back do you want to go? Now this has become Contra. Now this has become Contra. This is ridiculous. All right, let's go kill Satan a few more times. Mosey our way on back. Yeah, I heard about the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game coming out. I mean, I watched that growing up. I thought it was scary, but I don't think there's enough meat on the bone to do something really... something that's going to last past, I don't know, a passing novelty. Killer Clowns, even though it has kind of a cult audience, it's really cult. It's not as big as people might think. The theme song's pretty cool. But a lot of people are fucking afraid of clowns. I didn't realize this until I was much older, but people are genuinely terrified of clowns. Like It and all that. When people talk about their traumatic movies that they watch, they always talk about It. Tim Curry's It. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Or Zeebo the Clown from Are You Afraid of the Dark for an obscure take. But to me, I'm not afraid of them. But there are people that just probably will never play that game because they are genuinely afraid of clowns. So, but if they do something fun with it, if they make it like Friday the 13th and it's got a good gameplay loop, I might stick around. I never dug Dead by Daylight. Everyone told me I would love that game, and it didn't click with me in the same way as Friday the 13th. And I think it's because Dead by Daylight introduced so much DLC and campaigns and stuff. It, like, overstayed its welcome, I believe. Silent Hill, like, oh, there's a silent... You can play as Heather fighting against Pyramid Head. I'm like, that sounds awful. I don't ever want to do that. Happy New Year, Elric. Rumpleforeskin says, I need to try the Nightmare Before Christmas license game by Capcom. By Devil May Cry. Yeah, Danny Elfman, I believe, also did the soundtrack and provided the singing voice of Jack Skellington. I've played it way back in the game. Now, it's got some problems. The lock-on targeting for his booger whip, he has like an Earthworm Jim booger whip, is not the greatest. But it's a solid game, and they made it... I think they made a whole bunch of new tracks, musical tracks from Danny Elfman in there, so yeah, it's worth checking out. Get it on the Xbox. There's also a Game Boy Advance Pumpkin King game that's decent, but I wouldn't review that because I'm afraid that's one of those games that uses a lot of licensed music, and those are just doomed to fail on YouTube. Unless you completely mute the audio. Alright. We got 200k. What's our next move gonna be? Should we buy that gauntlet? Now I'm hooked on this game. This is a problem. This is a problem. I'll never end the stream because I'm hooked on this game. We're at 2 hours and 30 minutes. We'll round it off here soon. 150k, is it? Okay, we got the gauntlet. So, look how long it attacks, though. So, it stays in attack mode for a few more frames. So, yeah, you can kind of hold it in place. That's nice. That makes you faster on the world map. We gotta find the hidden area in Ginormo Sword here. Yeah, but look at that. It just stays in place. Hits him for more damage. That's not bad at all. Seems kind of game-breaking if you ask me. Okay. So that's one spot. I got a pixel hunt. This is bullshit. The game is breaking down before our eyes, but yeah, I got a pixel hunt. Did I not clear this one? I apologize for your eyes. Ooh, one hit. I gotta get some armor. I believe that would... I'd be able to survive all the projectiles, but maybe that takes the fun out of it. Diego says, Hajime no Ippo for GBA is the best boxing game I've played. Yeah, they made a Hajime no Ippo for the Nintendo Wii. I considered putting that in my video on the Wii, but I wanted Punch-Out. I could not justify taking away the Punch-Out slot. That's one of my favorite Wii games. Yeah, but there is a Hajime no Ippo for the Wii that's decent. I know my anime a little bit. Guys, where is this secret castle? So that's the lighthouse. That's another one down here where the gray is. Is there a water-based one? Are we just going to have to pixel hunt? I'm taking my little guy, and we're just going to pixel hunt it old school style. Please don't tell me it's at the end of the shoreline here. Hey, thanks for subscribing, X Kyoto. X Kyoto, if you're in chat, say hello. Yeah, we're all otaku here, apparently. I mean, I am looking forward to the Nier Automata anime that comes out at the end of the month. I assume, it's supposed to be. I've been playing through that on the Switch. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that magic is not that great for the Storm Cloud guy. Astro Boy on the GBA by Treasure. Anything by Treasure is fantastic. I beat Mischief Makers yesterday, which was also by Treasure. I beat that game when I was 11 years old. I still have my 64 cart with my file from it. It still says I'm 11 years old. Never got a sequel, but that's in tune with Treasure. They usually didn't make sequels to their games, which is commendable in itself. Guys, I gotta find the Monster Zone. That's not the Monster Zone. Okay. Is it down here? I just don't know where to go, bros. I don't know where to go. Let's start back at the beginning and see if I unlocked anything. Nothing yet. This guy's kind of a joke now. He doesn't drop anything, so we'll just check each screen and see if something new showed up. Shrine of Might, I could level up. but I don't have enough money. Oh. We got the goblins. Shamans. Glaveson says, I finally got to play Travis Strikes Again and No More Heroes 3. Also got to play Elden Ring and Hades. That's a lot. That's a lot of gaming right there. Any opinions on those? I haven't played Elden Ring at all. I can't comment on it. I'm just kind of soulsed out. Kind of a Ginormo. I'm in the mood just for Ginormo. I'll probably play Elden Ring next year or something. Usually when people just overhype stuff after a while and I'm just exposed to it, it just turns me off from playing it. I don't know what that says about me. I've kind of always been that way. I tend to wait for the hype to die down and then I'll hop in on my own terms. But everyone's like, George R.R. Martin wrote the story. I'm like, that doesn't make me want to play it. I don't find Game of Thrones to be all that entertaining, in my opinion. Like, I don't really like medieval settings in my games in the first place. I like stuff that's more contemporary, but that's just a personal preference. I just don't like medieval games. But I know it's got Miyazaki behind it, and it's got the gameplay. That's what you're there for, but I'm not about it right now. I'll be about it later, but not right now. The Gene side quest is kind of tacked on in Travis Strikes Again. The whole game is tacked on, if we're being real. Barely hanging together, but the finale's great. Phoenix agrees with me. Thank you, Bio. I'm not trying to be a contrarian about Elden Ring. I'm sure it's fantastic. I did watch one of my friends stream it for a while. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched a good majority of it, I feel. And he was screaming at some of the things that were happening. So I just didn't feel... I wanted to play an enjoyable game, something that I could vibe with, and something I wanted that would inspire me to write for a bit. Guys, I'm not finding this monster den. We're just going to have to end the stream. We're going to have to end the stream until somebody looks up the Ginormo Sword fact where this monster den is. It's not at the tavern. I'm just going to randomly click around and hope to God that I find this monster den. Is it on the extreme of this map? Because there's like loading zones, so if I hit those loading zones, we are out. I don't know. I've clicked around. I mean, I've got everything enchanted. Got a good diamond sword going. Got some neat magic here. Maybe that circler would be good to have. Oh my God. That's like a little barrier. That's cool. Well, let's see what happens. Let's try it out on the cloud guy. That is useless. Oh my God, that's useless. Okay. Yeah, I've got all his magic, seen his tricks before. All right. I can't think of anything else to do. I'm kind of at a soft lock point because I can't find the next den. We're going to go back to 3-round burst. Wide shot. Glaveson says, I have no idea what's going on with the entire donuts and coffee bit. Kind of got a comedic finding the same guy dead on nearly every screen. Donuts and coffee is like a throwback to old Sega Saturn games, I believe. That's the vibe I got. And coffee and donuts have been included in other Suda games. There's a reference to coffee and donuts in Lollipop Chainsaw. Really hard to find, but I did think I pointed it out in my Lollipop Chainsaw video, if I remember. It's in the yellow part, says Smeem Boy. You think so? We're trying. I can't. Oh, that's a tavern. Guys, I've scanned all of this. The boss. Well, I don't know. The boss is not there. He's not spawning. The boss is not spawning. There's got to be another one, Smee Boy. Is it in this part? Because everything spawned here. In this part, yeah, we've got all the... We hit up all the dens. We've cleaned out all the dens over here. Come on, guys. We gotta find this den. Saw it in a video. Don't know how he did it. Do I have to just keep grinding these lighthouses until the boss spawns? I guess I could do that. Make some money. I just want the boss to spawn. I just want my kids back. I just want my kids back. All right. I'm going to give it a few more rounds here. Like, you know, I'll go through each one of these. Oh, was it this one? I don't think I ever beat this one. This might be what the issue was. This has got to be it. If the boss doesn't spawn here, I'm going to be pissed. There it is. Yeah, we had a Hikiko boomer moment there, but... Oh! My God! Did you see that? Oh my God.
Oh my God!
Okay, so we're up against a Cyclops with Cyclops from the X-Men powers. Huh. It's hard to telegraph where he's gonna go. It's so random. Cyclops bros. Oh! Oh! I'm afraid of getting wedged up against that corner. We got him! First try. The game continues. The journey continues. I got zapped instantly. Glaveson says, oh, Smeem, I did not go to this one. I had to clear out this tavern, I guess. That was the issue. We're moving right along. Okay. Let's check this out. We got a pyramid. Got some mummies. I'm steamrolling. Maybe it's because I imbued it with diamonds. Yeah. It's just tearing through them. Length chads. We made the right call. Glaveson says, I got some of the references, like I know the Donuts and Coffee intro was like a classic bad CG intros from Saturn and PS1. Then the previous game had those live-action FMV bits, which were great. Oh yeah, Travis Strikes Again did have, oh, okay. Gain vitality. Okay, so that's how we can increase our health bar. The game just builds upon itself. Just builds upon itself. Satisfying gameplay loop. Glaveson, I did like the live action bits from Travis Strikes Again. I honestly think when it comes to Suda's writing, and I've said this before, don't read too deeply into it. Usually it's whatever he wears his influences on his sleeve. He'll have a random thought and say, okay, that's a level. And if you watch the Grasshopper Manufacturer channel, they talk about their creative process. Usually it's just whoever makes everyone laugh the most is how that goes. Mimics. I honestly don't think Suda is aiming to be as avant-garde as some would give him credit for. I think he's more of a comedian than anything else. Yes, Glaveson. You can go watch the Grasshopper Archives. It's literally just them sitting there trying to make each other laugh. And they're like, yeah, throw that in. It's a game idea. Oh no! Oh no! He's got a spread gun. Worm Bros. This may be your day. Not if I can stun lock him though. We're stun locking the worm. Worm Bros, it wasn't your day. That one was way easy. Like, that was shockingly easy. Even games like Killer 7 and Silvercase now, I wouldn't say, like, as far back as that. That was, like, more young, ambitious, Suda. As time has progressed, he has become more of a parody of himself. In the nicest way possible. In the nicest way possible. Suda's just a bro. He happens to be artsy at times, and people have mistaken it for him being the next Swearier Kojima. I don't know. Like, I guess I don't get myself in that mindset where people polish balls of developers all the time and claim that they're the next Goddard or the next Lars von Trier. You know, it's because we don't have too many prominent names in the gaming industry like that anymore, like big names and faces in the same way Hollywood does. Like where you pioneer a genre unto yourself. But I see Suda as a comedian first. Maybe it's because I get the joke, but if you've played the Silver Case and the 25th Ward and you've 100%ed them, you'll know that they end on a joke that keeps on going. I think it's a warning, especially in the case of the 25th Ward, not to take it too seriously, not to get too wrapped up in plot threads and lore and shit like that. Like, it's fun to make all the connections, for sure, I get that. But don't read between the lines too much with Suda. That's where you're gonna get lost. You'll be grasping for threads that aren't really there in the first place. Is this a Kraken? I guess I could imbue my sword with lightning. Oh, he hit me. And the variant. Now we got 3 Krakens. What is crack-a-lack in here? I think they have a weak point in their squishy area. I don't want to get too close. That's why we got length on our side. I still didn't get Kuriyami Dance, though. No More Heroes ended on a perfect joke ending as well. I don't really like Kuriyami Dance, but I'm not a huge reader of manga as it is. It was interesting to see what ideas he had for Shadows of the Damned back when it was Kuriyami, but I don't think it's entirely what he had in mind for Kuriyami. It's not exactly the best written thing I've ever read. I don't think Suda's writing is his strongest suit. I think his bravery to go places, like the pioneering spirit of somebody who's insane, like he's willing to go over the line and go places other developers won't go. And that's what's endearing about Suda. But these last few games that he's made kind of feel like he's playing it too safe. Like, I had a feeling that he would. And everyone's like, oh, he's just getting older. I'm like, yeah, but it's also a reflection of the culture we're in nowadays. He's not going to be, you know, having decapitated women's heads as a primary storyteller or gay ghosts and things like that. Like, he's really played it quite safe in his more recent works. Somebody reminded me that some guy had some meltdown about Killer is Dead in the Gigolo mode, and he wrote like this 20-minute video about how Suda's, I don't know, a misogynist or something because he included Gigolo mode as a joke in Killer is Dead. I'm like, there's plenty of other things in that game that are shit, but Gigolo mode was like the least offensive of them in my opinion. Oh my god. We're taking on Poseidon. We're killing actual gods now. I'll see if I can swing this one. If I just keep my distance, maybe? Keep him at Ginormo length. Oh my god, he's just spammed. Okay, we're going to try and imbue the sword with electricity. You'll see how that goes. Oh, that's earth, wind, fire, water. We got Captain Planet shit going here. Would it be wind? Like, what's weak against what? I need to see an elements chart here. Is it like just mirrors of each other? If I do it with fire, you think? I mean, I'll try it with fire, and we'll see where that goes. Bramboyd, yeah, the whole game is farming. This is farming for psychos like me who enjoy stupidly ridiculous swords and giant sprites. I don't know if that did any more damage, but we can grind for a little more length or width before we end the stream. We're approaching 3 hours fast. So we got about 8 more minutes. I'm going to kill the stream after that. So get your chats in. Get your questions in. Maybe I'll read them. I don't know. But we're winding down. I'm going to try and kill Poseidon. That's going to be our stream goal, is to kill Poseidon. I think I can do it. I bet if I equip some armor too, I can tank a little bit of damage there. So let's try and imbue our armor. Scale armor, chainmail. Okay, we'll start with... I can't even afford that. Can't even afford the basic bitch armor. Okay. Well, that's a problem. BioPhoenix, I would say Fire Pro Wrestling game you worked on has a very deep, dark story in it. I'll have to play through that. Everyone brings that one up. Maybe we'll do a B-sides on that. I'm not a huge wrestling fan anymore, if I'm honest with you guys. It's degenerate. It's not degenerate, but wrestling hasn't been good in a long time, in my opinion, but look at that. I think we're going to end the stream on a respectable length of our katana. Way bigger than I anticipated, but we're going to kill the Kraken first. Rider with the Scarf, I think Killer is Dead's major thing is, yes, it is a license avoiding title. It doesn't have its own identity. It borrows from all of Suda's works, all of them, into kind of a hodgepodge that isn't all that fun. I don't care for Mondo as a protagonist. I don't care for the story. It's got a lot of problems. But Mondo does appear I think in Travis Strikes Again, if I remember correctly. Oh, we did it! We beat the Kraken! We did it! My friends, thank you so much for tuning into this impromptu cool street. We got 53 likes. Impressive numbers today. You guys hung with it for a while for a 1-bit game. So I appreciate you. I'm looking at, right now, I'm kind of in the process of making a new video. There's 2 directions I could go, but I think the one that's most obvious for me is another system-based video. Long term, they are the best performing videos on the channel, and they do drive a lot of traffic, and I get a chance to talk about like a large swath of games at one time. So whatever I want to talk about, I can just throw into those videos. So it gives me an excuse to talk about certain system exclusives. So that's what I have in mind. Go watch that extermination video if you haven't. Thumb it up if you haven't. Comment if you haven't. YouTube did no favors for it. Like 0 favors. If I could show you the numbers, you'd be like, what the fuck happened here? I've never had a Swearies files just completely DOA like that. Something's wrong. Something is amiss. So it's going to be my goal to kind of figure that out and recalibrate, if you will. I'm going to try. I've got a few ideas, but the main one is probably going to be a system video. I've been working on one in secret. So something from the 7th gen. So I hope you'll look forward to that probably by the end of the month. We'll see where we are if I don't put out a shorter video before then. Anyways, appreciate y'all. Thanks so much for watching the cool stream. I'm going to get out of here now.